Hello everybody, I am the Black Sigma, or you could just call me Eric, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. On guard, yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai. That's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Do you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Ah, young'uns today. I told you, there's no way it was anyone else. How do you know that? Because I said so, and what I say is the truth. At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine. Obviously. So, you saw the Nickel Samurai. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket. Now he's not. What? My dream? I wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public school. Wow. Anyway. Just stop. Stop all of this. Everything you're saying is wrong. Would have been convenient. Why would that be? That way no one could see his face. Still an advantage. Think the costume would make him stand out more. Disadvantage. More troublesome for him to change in and out. Had to go to that post-ceremony stage show. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear in that show? Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing. Including the German samurai. Of course it included him. That's why when he came out of Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought. Well, anyway. He must have worn that costume when stabbing Juan. So let me ask you one more time. It was really the Nickel Samurai. Showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning? No? But now you're saying it, so you don't need to think too hard on this one. There's a contradiction in her testimony and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. You saw the Nickel Samurai. Would have been convenient for him to wear that costume during the murder. Had to go to that post-stage. He must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing Juan. But the Nickel Samurai costume wouldn't leave fingerprints. One hand is gloved, one's robotic. There's also the fact that the stabbing isn't what killed him, it was the strangling. But I don't think that's it. We can always try a good old save before I start seeing if this is where her contradiction lies. Now, do I present the knife with the fingerprints, or the photo of the costume that wouldn't bear the prints? Objection! Well, it sure ain't the photo of the costume. Okay, then how about the fact the knife had fingerprints on it? There we go. Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife, big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to the case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I am driving at. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? If Mr. On Guard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all his fingerprints on the knife right off. Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There is no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Edgeworth, contradicting yourself? Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I've heard that. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about this theory? When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems? Yeah, there are. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. On Guard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. We already proved this. This knife was used by Mr. On Guard at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was, in fact, the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corrida, I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. Supposition. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Order, I say. Order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? It's to frame my client, Mr. On Guard, of course. To frame... Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Gah! Witness? Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Hedgy Poo? Ugh. Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. On Guard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because... Well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corrida. Am I correct, Witness? The way you think. You're a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? So Oldbag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida. Maybe, Phoenix, maybe the Oldbag was waiting around for that person? Huh. If I think it's who Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Ms. Oldbag, you were waiting around for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? The only other person that we know was in there.
Take that!
Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. On Guard's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is, I see. The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing. And this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's Adrian Andrews? Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then. Witness? What in the world are you... Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I got some information, some very secret information from a certain source, so that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course. But what for? Oh, just for myself, personal reasons and all that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this, however I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then, witness, testify about this secret information. Get ready, this is gonna take the wind out of you, young'uns. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. So, that On Guard is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay? The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court. What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant? Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We've looked into this matter and found that the truth is, the article proposes, is in fact baseless gossip. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Be careful, the Oldbag seems rather excited right now. On Guard's nothing but average foul-blooded youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Da-na-na-na. Mr. Wright, are you singing Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone, featured in the hit movie Top Gun and its sequel, Top Gun Maverick? Your Honor, Top Gun Maverick hasn't canonically come out at the time this game has set. What? Shut up, Wright. Do your job. You're meant to be a lawyer, not jamming out to Kenny Loggins songs. That on-guard's evil, thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing this scandal. What do you mean? Yeah, I know what a scandal is. On-guard thought he could create... Okay, that doesn't help. You don't have any proof that Mr. On-guard did any such thing. Must be suffering from shock, the truth of hearing... the shock of hearing the truth. Proof that On-guard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan. Proof that On-guard didn't bear any ill will? I don't think I have that in evidence form. I don't think I do, but I'll come back to it if I do have something else. Nobody else but you and me know? Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information that no one else knows yet? If that's true, then how do you know this secret information? Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yeah, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drilled a hole into my brain, you'll never find out. I can present evidence. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, why do you know it, Miss Oldbag? Why are you looking at me like that? Witness? I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it? I mean, she could have stolen the article from Lotta. Or she could have just talked to Lotta. But you know what? It's time to pull on my big boy pants. I know you got this information from Lotta, but I'm going to make it so much worse than it needs to be. Because what is a Phoenix Wright game if not jumping to conclusions? The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. She reported such a thing. On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrageous impressions about the relationship between the victim and Ms. Andrews. What? Outrageous ideas, you say? No, I said impressions. I changed my sentence. Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless? Ah, that's it. That's the note. No! No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy.
And you are the one who took Ms. Hart's note.
I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil on guard. She said so herself. On guard, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just this once. She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? Absolutely not. She didn't just steal a piece of paper. Remember where that piece of paper was found? If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible, lonely trash can, that's all.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it.
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Ms. Oldbag, I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night.
Take that!
Ms. Oldbag, that note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it? A camera? Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie $1,600 camera has disappeared on me. Why? She really said the full number like that? I thought she'd say something like 1,600. Yeah, that is how she pronounced it, Your Honor. Witness!
What is it, Gramps?
If you have the note, then it's only logical you have the camera too.
Ugh, looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
That's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know? I still eat meals like you, I fall in love and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card and that's when I noticed it said, Slumbag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of picture she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
Bailiff, check this camera's photos, hurry. We must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. Would you look at that? This is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you. That's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. On Guard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is the defendant. How did it come to this? I think this brings up to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. Can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. And it involves saving before I do anything. Where's a majority of the flowers that were in front of the room? There's also the fact that he's wearing gloves, which, again, doesn't check out with the fingerprints on the stabbing. There's no button trapped in his pleats, in the folds of his pants. But I don't think that's enough. Is there another contradiction here? Nickel Samurai. Robotic right arm, normal left arm, giant shoulder pad. Doesn't look like any key details of his costume are missing. Gotta be careful here. It's gotta be something contradictory. There isn't a triangle pattern like the one on his chest that is on his arm there. That could just be the angle of the photo. Nothing about the steel samurai, nickel samurai himself is off. The fact he's coming from Corrida's room isn't incorrect. And it's definitely Corrida's because that's the way the hallway faces, and those flowers were meant for Corrida. You can tell because, well, they aren't the same design as the one that's on the other side of the hall. Wait. The position of this camera for Lotta to have that angle of a photo of Corrida's door would mean she was taking her photo from the entrance of On Guard's room. Huh. Yeah, there's something strange with the photo. I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster. Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? No, Your Honor. Just look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? Well, I have to find something wrong. I can't let this go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange? It's where she took the photo from, Your Honor.
Take that!
The strange thing is somewhere around here, I think. Somewhere around here, I think. Am I saying something you're all not? What? Ah, shit.
Come on, she clearly took it from On Guard's room, and that's a problem. But I suppose I'll figure the truth out in the next episode. Bye.